Her family said no the night she walked out of her parents' house. The sky was unusually quiet, as if the world itself was holding its breath. Her hands were shaking, not because she doubted her choice, but because she knew that after this moment, nothing would ever be the same again. Behind her was a home filled with comfort, rules, pride, and expectations. Ahead of her was an uncertain future, tied to an Indian boy the world told her she should never choose. That single step she took on the cold floor did not just change her life, it shattered traditions, challenged blood relations, and proved that love can be braver than fear. If you believe in kindness, second chances, and love that dares to stand against the world, then take a moment right now to like this video, share it with someone who needs hope, comment your thoughts, and subscribe to the channel for more real and emotional stories like this. She grew up in a family where everything was planned even before she could understand the meaning of choice. Her parents were respected, traditional, and deeply rooted in their cultural values. They believed love should follow rules, families should decide futures, and happiness should come from obedience. From childhood, she learned how to smile at the right time, say the right things, and hide emotions that felt too loud. On the surface, her life looked perfect. Good education, a safe home, and parents who provided everything. But somewhere deep inside her heart, there was a quiet emptiness she never learned how to explain. Her world began to change the day she met him. He was an Indian boy, far from his homeland, carrying dreams bigger than his circumstances. There was something calm yet determined about him, something honest in the way he saw life. He did not come from wealth or influence. He came from struggle, long nights of work, silent sacrifices, and an unshakable belief that effort could change destiny. Their connection did not explode like a dramatic moment from a movie. It grew slowly, naturally, through shared silences, small kindnesses, and conversations that felt safe. For the first time, she felt seen not as a daughter, not as a responsibility, but as a human being with thoughts, fears, and dreams. As time passed, the bond deepened. She began to laugh freely, to speak without fear of judgment, to imagine a future that was not written by someone else. But with every step closer to him, she felt the invisible walls of her family closing in. She knew what her parents would say. Different culture, different background, different status. To them, love was not enough. Love was reckless, unpredictable, and dangerous. She tried to convince herself that maybe she could walk away, that maybe feelings could be buried for the sake of peace. But the heart does not understand logic when it has tasted truth. When her family discovered the relationship, the house that once felt warm turned cold overnight. Disappointment filled the air like smoke. Her parents felt betrayed, not because she loved someone, but because she loved someone they did not choose. They believed she was throwing away her future, her respect, and her family name. She was told that love fades, but family is permanent. She was reminded of sacrifices made for her, of expectations placed on her shoulders since birth. Every conversation felt heavier than the last, pressing guilt into her chest until breathing became difficult. He, on the other hand, never asked her to fight her family. He knew the cost of such a decision. He understood what it meant to stand alone. All he offered was honesty and patience. He told her that whatever she chose, she should choose with peace, not pressure. That respect alone made her realize how different this love was. It was not about possession, control, or ego. It was about growth, understanding, and shared strength. The days turned into weeks, and the tension at home grew unbearable. She lived between two worlds, one demanding loyalty through fear, the other offering love through freedom. Nights became sleepless, filled with silent tears and unanswered questions. She imagined a future without her family, the emptiness of festivals, the absence of familiar faces. The thought broke her heart. But she also imagined a life without him, a life where she would slowly disappear behind expectations, living someone else's dream. That thought scared her even more. The final confrontation came not with shouting, but with silence. Her parents made it clear that choosing him meant losing them. There would be no blessings, no support, no turning back. It was an emotional ultimatum that cut deeper than anger ever could. She realized then that this was not just about love, it was about identity, about whether she would live as a shadow of her parents' wishes or as the author of her own life. The decision she made that night was the hardest of her life. She packed only what she needed, not because she wanted to leave, but because staying meant losing herself. As she stepped out, tears streamed down her face, each one carrying memories of childhood, laughter, and warmth. She was not running away from her family. She was walking toward her truth. Life after that was not easy. Love did not magically solve everything. There were days of financial struggle, moments of doubt, and nights when loneliness crept in despite being together. Society was not kind. Judgments followed them everywhere, from disapproving looks to cruel assumptions. She was labeled selfish, disobedient, ungrateful. He was labeled unworthy, opportunistic, and undeserving. But in those dark moments they leaned on each other, learning how to build a life from the ground up. He worked tirelessly, not to prove anything to the world, but to give their love stability. She learned strengths she never knew she had, managing responsibilities, supporting dreams, and healing wounds that were still open. Slowly, very slowly, life began to change. Small victories appeared, a better job, a warmer home, moments of laughter that felt earned. Love matured into partnership, trust, and resilience. Time has a way of softening even the hardest hearts. Her parents watched from a distance, seeing that she had not fallen apart, that she had not failed. They saw her strength, her dignity, and the respect with which he treated her. The anger faded into silence, and the silence slowly turned into curiosity. One day, a simple message arrived, not filled with apologies or acceptance, but concern. That small crack in the wall felt like light entering a dark room. Rebuilding was slow and painful. Forgiveness did not arrive all at once, but steps were taken. Conversations happened, tears were shared. Her parents realized that love had not taken their daughter away, fear had. They saw that the Indian boy they once rejected was not a threat, but a partner who stood beside her with integrity. Healing did not erase the past, but it allowed a future where love did not require sacrifice of self. As you watch this story unfold, if it has touched your heart even a little, please take a moment to comment and share your thoughts below. Your words matter, and they help stories like this reach others who may be standing at the same crossroads. In the end, she did not choose an Indian boy over her family. She chose love over fear, truth over tradition, and courage over comfort. And in doing so, she taught everyone around her that real love does not divide, it transforms. If this story moved you, inspired you, or reminded you of someone you know, please like the video, comment your feelings, share it with others, and subscribe to the channel. Your support keeps these stories alive, and your engagement gives voice to love that dares to stand against the world.